Welcome back to another episode of Fishing Me, your boy DYangBass. Today we are not fishing, but we are learning about fishing. That make any sense? You guys get it? Yeah, something like that. So in today's video, we're going to talk about a question that I have been brought up to personally. I feel like the best way to answer you guys is through this video. So sit back, let's get right into the question right now. So it's pretty obvious. You can see the title. It says when to spool your reels. It's a very important question because a lot of people don't know when to spool it, right? Because it all depends on how many outings you do, where you leave it, what you use it for, what kind of water condition. I'm here to tell you from my experience to when the perfect time to spool your line. So the two lines that I have right here in my hand, don't worry about seeing my face, I gotta cover it anyways, is Seaguar and P-Line. These two brands, I should say, are the brands that I use 95% of the time, okay? I say 95% of the time because sometimes I find other fluorocarbon on sale and I buy it. I'm guilty, I'm not gonna lie, but when I'm bass fishing in the summertime, I stick to P-Line and Seaguar. Now you guys are probably wondering why I have two brands in my hand, okay? And I'm gonna explain throughout this process. Just listen, don't skip it. I use this line on a medium light to medium type of rod. I like to use this line on my lighter weight Texas rig when I'm throwing Senko, smaller creature baits, use it as a leader for like shaky heads, stuff like that. It's a really great line for you to throw baitcaster on lighter tackle, right? Let's just say medium light to maybe medium action. I find out that medium has the forgiveness rod to use this line properly. You don't break off as often. If you do, it's most likely a pike. What I'm trying to say is that 15-pound tests help you with distance, it helps you cover water, it helps you pin fish with that medium power rod, and it just does everything you want it to do. Some people believe that lighter line will help you catch fish, which is true. Like I'm not saying it's not, but just remember you got to use it with the right rod though. But anyways, here on the other hand, I have a Seaguar. You're probably wondering why I have a $10 to $11 compared to $22 to $27 now. It's pretty pricey, I'm not gonna lie. Seaguar is pricier, but the quality is what I trust a lot. Not saying I don't trust P-Line, okay? The reason why I have this 17-pound test here is because I use it in my flipping situation or when I'm covering tougher conditions. Not weather, but like, you know, structures, laydowns, rocks, junk, anything that I can find in the water with the sonar or whatever. When I'm dragging, or when I'm flipping, the 17-pound test gets away just fine. Do you have to go 20 up here in Wisconsin? I don't think so. I think 17-pound test is perfect. I've never had an issue with it, and if I do break off, it's a big old pike or big old muskie, okay? That's just the honest truth. You will break off on those things no matter what. What I'm trying to get here is 17-pound test works great for those kind of conditions. What rod do I use it on? I use it on a medium to medium heavy or heavy. Go get it with the heavy, I'm just saying. Medium to medium heavy rod for this kind of line. Obviously, these lines have a role of like you as a fisherman. How do you perform that hook set? How do you control the fish, and how do you get out of that situation? So that all plays a role too. Not saying that this is guaranteed every single time, okay? You yourself have to practice and go out there and, you know, get the fish out, handle it properly, safely, and land it properly and safely. So what I'm trying to say is 17-pound test is the line that I normally use for bass fishing in the summertime. So here's how I know that I need to re-spool my spool, okay? Just my recent two outings, I get hung up on like a piece of wood in the water, whatever's down there, I don't know, rocks, and I go to pull like not even that hard. This is 17-pound test, remember that. You know it's time to get a new line. I went to pull like at, let's just say 30 to 45% of pressure, and it blows on me. It breaks. It didn't quite break at the lure. It broke like in the middle of it. So from my understanding, I feel like the line was getting weak. In my mind, that's how I knew that it was time to put a new line on. If you ever feel like your line is getting weak, or when you go to cast and it's flying off your spool like a piece of sloppy bird nest, then that's how you know it's time to like get a new line on. So I'll see you guys once I'm done taking all this stuff out. Okay, there we go. So we got the spool off, okay? This is the line that you need to get rid of, okay? Especially when you're fishing dirty water. If you're fishing stained water, warm weather condition, warm water temperature, you need to get rid of this by now. Because the next, let's just say the next month, which is now, the next month is going to be hotter. It's going to have to do a lot with how your line is going to help you perform. I'm a big believer in performance, so I want to be able to perform correctly, closest to 100% as possible, okay? So this right here, gotta go. We're going to put some new 17-pound test fluoro on. So if you have a really cool device for you to spool it, great. Me, I have my Crocs. I'm gonna show you guys indoor. So one, you need carpet, okay? If you don't, it's gonna be really hard. But you guys can watch it from here. Take your line, take your pen, make a hole, okay, or marker, whatever. You see these two holes right here? Yeah, that's what you're gonna hold, and use your toe, obviously, part of it too. Use these two holes or holes on the Crocs here that's more comfortable for you. And you're basically gonna pin this down just like that, okay? And it's gonna spin when you reel it. So you press down for pressure, you let go to make it looser, all right? Pretty easy. All right, so what I like to do, I like to stick the line through the guide all the way down to the reel. Some people just go with the first guide, right? First guide will just on back here to the reel. But me, I like to do it like this. And there is a method where you could do it with like a bucket of water. You just throw the spool in the water and you pinch the line closer to the reel and you just reel it in. But I don't like getting my line wet because I feel like it just holds water onto the line and just messes it up while it sits there. Me, I try to keep it dry as possible. As I'm doing this, again, depending how many outings you do and how many times you use your setup is when you should be switching your line, okay? I say if you fish as much as, like if you fish a lot, let's just say, I don't know, 4 days out of the week, that's considered a lot. You should switch your line at least every 10 outings. That's if you care. If you don't care, then you're taking a chance of losing a big fish, right? Okay, so now we got all that set up. We got the line through the rod. You guys probably can't see it because you're facing my leg, but just get that in your head, okay? The line is through all the guides into the reel. All right, just like that. Now, you want the line to come under the spool, okay? Not over. Don't go over, go under. So you can do that. Sometimes I just do one Crocs, but today we're going to try two just because it's funny. Alright, you pinch it down, make sure there's no coil, and now all you do is reel. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's just enough pressure. The rod tip is bending just enough for me to spool properly, okay? Look at that. Keep your rod tip up though. I can't point at the camera because it's not going to be good, but keep it up, keep your thumb on the spool itself. And just reel away, guys. Reel away. Look at that. Fish structure. So I think that's enough right there. Alright. You see that? So that didn't take long at all. That only took me, I don't know, a minute or two on the video. And I have plenty left to go through, let's say, 3 reels. I still have a lot of lines left. I only took up at least, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 yards. So look at that. Let me see, focus. Nice and flush, guys. Look at that. Beautiful work right there. So there we did it, guys. We learned how to spool a baitcaster. If I were to say to be on the safe side, spool it every 7 to 10 outings, okay? That's all I have to say, okay? If you have a lot of rods, then you might not have to spool too much because, you know, you're using other rods and the other line gets to rest. But resting the line on the spool too long is not a good thing either. It becomes coiled, it becomes weak because of the pressure, and you might just break off a big one, which I know you guys don't want that to happen. So I hope you guys learned something today. If you guys haven't yet, spool up your reels. Don't lose a big fish. Don't lose a fish at all. Don't take that chance. Spool it up. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. We're going to do some bass fishing. I'll see you guys then.